One.
Boom! And welcome to Today, brought to you by Boss Shot Shells. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
New loads coming out by Boss. We can officially announce that they are going to be solid copper and they will be ready to release, hoping, if everything goes right around the first part of September. So
Safely October 1st.
yeah, but the goal is September 1. So up until the Delta Waterfowl show, couldn't release anything on it. Now everything is official. They're moving to all copper BBs. And Brandon, we will talk about this later.
Yep, Brandon's a mad scientist. It's an amazing thing. It's the new War Chief be coming out this fall, so he's shooting it this fall and winter. Okay, today, also, before we get into this, come out to Memphis to Ducks this weekend. We will be in Memphis. We will have a Stanfield Hunting Outfitter Big Honker podcast booth. And me and Andy will also be in the Boss booth helping them getting ready for season. So we look forward to seeing you. All of our sponsors there. Went to Delta this weekend. Was a good time. So here we go on to Memphis, Tennessee. Are you ready for my today?
Ready? This is yours.
You sound like you're in such a good mood today. You a little wore out there, Andrew.
I'm just over it. I'm over everything.
You just beat and wore out, huh?
Beat and wore out. Ready for next May.
You're ready to just skip hunting
Just
season.
fucking skip it. I'm done with it.
Okay. What would you think is the most, it's not important, but the biggest thing that the colonies gave back to England? And even before the colonies were here, we'll predate it before the colonies here. What do you think was the most important export in the United States was?
Maize.
No.
Corn.
No.
Beans.
No.
Water.
No.
Tea.
So you think they're growing tea in America now?
Maybe.
No.
Pecans.
Andrew.
Figs.
Have you ever seen a fig farm in America?
I've seen a couple.
No. Fur was the biggest thing, but this was bigger than furs even.
Lumber.
No. Tobacco.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, I can tell. By 27 deals. You're not going to be much fun today at all.
Why?
Because you're just kind of
I couldn't
pissy
guess?
and you're tired. You're wore out. Okay. In 1588, Sir Walter Raleigh took back tobacco.
It's why some theories suggest that England kind of gave us the United States. They realized that we had wrecked our soil in the colonies and it wasn't any good.
They were wrong on that.
Well, it took a while to get the nutrients back.
When tobacco had been used by the indigenous people, Indians and Americans for centuries, it was Raleigh who popularized its consumption among the English. He is said to have learned about tobacco from a Native American named Manteo during his voyages. The tobacco plant quickly became a highly sought-after commodity in England, where it was initially smoked in clay pipes. In addition to tobacco, you know what other two things he brought to England that they did not have before then? One of these shocked me.
Pecans.
No. They don't even grow pecans in the Northeast, really.
People do.
It's a southern thing. And pecans are southern. I'm not saying there's not any up north, but it's a southern deal.
Maple syrup.
No. Potatoes. The Irish had a potato famine. I figured potatoes were in. So you don't believe this now?
That doesn't make any sense.
I was surprised by this also. You know another thing they didn't have? Tomatoes.
Too cold.
Another significant item that Sir Walter Raleigh brought back to England.
You said that they didn't like it. You said pizza was what redid the tomato.
That's what got the tomato popular over there. Because at the time, tomato is believed to have originated in South America and was unknown in Europe prior to Raleigh's journeys. It was regarded as an ornamental plant rather than a food crop. However, Raleigh recognized its potential as a culinary ingredient and introduced it to England. The tomato gained acceptance slowly. It was initially thought to be poisonous. That's when the pizza came in and the Italians made pizza out of it. Eventually become a staple ingredient in many English dishes, particularly in sauces and salads. So anyways, in conclusion, Sir Walter Raleigh's expeditions to the Americas resulted in the introduction of tobacco, potatoes, and tomatoes in England. The potato one really shocked me. I thought that was a big staple of Europe for years, and I guess it wasn't. So anyways,
Potato famine, you'd figure.
yep. So, and I guess that happened then. Okay, that was my event that happened. That's when him going back to England with all that stuff. My person who died today, I can finally get this up here. Slow today. Or we're going to go to the person that was born today. The person who was born today was, I'm going to give you some hints. She was an aristocrat who was a fashion editor for Vogue magazine. She was born in New York City. Her dad was a stockbroker, and her mother was a socialite. Her parents got divorced. Her mom, of course, married up again and married a big fancy attorney.
It's not the World War II lady that was Glenn Beck just talked about her. She was sleeping with all the Nazis. She was a Jew.
Oh, you're talking about God dang it, not Mata Hari. I know the name. It wasn't China Rose or whatever her name was. God, what was that chick's name? I know she was a German. So she was a spy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, it was not her.
What was her name though?
No. This lady slept with one of the most famous coxmen of all time, probably.
Mickey Mantle or Joe DiMaggio?
And she was married to him.
Marilyn Monroe.
No.
She grew up
No,
poor.
but Marilyn Monroe and her shared a man.
Was it Joe DiMaggio?
No.
Is that who they shared?
No.
Oh, JFK?
Yes.
What's her name?
You can do better than what's her name?
Jackie O.
Jackie Kennedy Onassis. You know how old they were when they got married?
23 and she was 17.
He was 30-something and she was 24. They met at a dinner party hosted by Charles Bartlett in May of 52. She was attracted to Kennedy's physical appearance, wit, and wealth.
Probably a lot of the last
Probably the
one.
wealth is the one that got her.
Well, I don't know if she was a socialite.
Yeah, but her family had went through some hard times when his family never too. The pair also shared the similarities of both were Catholic. Both were writers, enjoyed reading, and have previously lived abroad. Kennedy was busy running for the U.S. Senate seat in Massachusetts. The relationship grew more serious. He proposed to her after the November election. Bouvier, which was her maiden name, took some time to accept because she had been assigned to cover the coronation of Elizabeth II in London. After a month in Europe, she returned to the United States and accepted Kennedy's marriage proposal. She then resigned from her position at the newspaper. Their engagement was officially announced on June 25th, 53. She was 24. He was 36. So they get
12
married.
years difference.
Yes. I did not realize that she had two kids that were stillborn. Both died.
Oh, with
Kennedy while they were married.
Huh.
They had a little girl that died and a little boy that died.
That's too bad.
The newlyweds honeymooned in Acapulco, Mexico before settling in their home in Hickory Hill in McLean, Virginia. Now, she was married to him. They had a son named Patrick who died. And she had a stillborn daughter named Arabella. They sold their house to Kennedy's brother, Robert Kennedy, who occupied it with his wife, Ethel, and their growing family, and bought a townhouse in Georgetown. They also resided on Bowden Street in Boston and their permanent Massachusetts residence during John's congressional court. That was when he was a senator, that was his official residence.
Yeah, he never left the White House.
Yep. Kennedy gave birth to daughter Caroline on November 27, 57. In 1957, at the time, she and her husband were campaigning across Massachusetts for his reelection to the Senate. And they've posed for Life magazine with the daughter of them. It was on the cover of Life magazine. Anyways, in January,
when was Jack Jr. born?
Jack Jr. was born after he was president. After he was president, I guess. But I don't know if that's true because he sat there and watched his dad.
He was a kid.
Yeah, he was a kid and showed him saluting. So he would have been born. I guess was the second one to be born. And then they had a child named Patrick that died, named after his older brother.
Okay.
She became first lady. She was an editor at Vogue. She got on to JFK about how he dressed all the time.
Why?
She said that she worked on his appearance to make him dress nicer. And
I've never seen him not done up.
That's because she was telling him how to dress.
Even before her, I think she's taken some.
Well, she's dead, so it doesn't matter anyways. Anyway, she was thought of as the most elegant first lady we have ever had, and then Melania Trump is pretty damn close. Both were beautiful, beautiful ladies.
He looks just like a Massachusetts sailor. I mean, he fits right in. Perfect. He's got that style. Got that flair.
Yeah, and well, she had a lot to do with it.
Well, look at him there. That's, he's...
I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you what she is known for, being helped him with his dressing and everything. Anyways,
made it look easy.
In early 1963, Kennedy was pregnant again, which led to her curtail her official duties as First Lady. She spent most of the summer of the home, and she and the president were rented at a place on Squall Island, which was near the Kennedy compound on Cape Cod. On August 7th, she went into labor and gave birth to a boy, Patrick Bouvier Kennedy, via emergency C-section. The infant's lungs were not fully developed, transferred to Cape Cod to Boston's Children's Hospital, where he died. Kennedy had remained at Otis Air Force Base to recuperate after the cesarean delivery. She went through a really bad state of depression. She said that they said the loss of their child had a positive impact on their marriage and brought the couple closer together in their shared grief. John Kennedy always regarded Jackie with genuine affection and pride. Their marriage never seemed more solid in the later months of 63. Jacqueline Kennedy's friend Aristotle Onassis was aware of her depression, invited her to his yacht to recuperate. Now, this is where it gets into the weeds a little bit. President Kennedy initially had reservations, but he relented because he believed it would be good for her. The trip was widely disapproved of within the Kennedy administration, but much of the general public and in Congress. The First Lady returned to the United States on October 17th. She would later say she regretted being away as long as she was, but had been melancholy after the death of my baby. Now, when I read the book by, is it Glenn Hill or Clint Hill? Clint Hill, Seven Presidents, which is a great book, highly recommended as a read. He talks a lot about that trip. John F. Kennedy got him to the side and told him, he said, listen, I want you to watch that sorry bastard. I don't trust him. And so she went to this to see this Greek tycoon. Anyways, John F. Kennedy gets killed on November 21st, 1963. Or no. That they went on November 21st, 1963. I think it was killed on November 23rd, wasn't it?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think it was on 22nd, November 22nd. They were together. He gets killed. She's wearing the bloodstained dress. LBJ, that crooked son of a bitch, takes the oath of honor after he killed her husband. They go on there. He offered her the job as the ambassador to London to try to keep her going into Mexico, and she did not take either one of them. So then after her husband dies, she gets on with her life a little bit. She settles a couple of lawsuits on some books that were written that weren't supposed to be. She was really close to Robert F. Kennedy, like really, really close. That was like her, kind of like her big brother. She said that he didn't remind her of the other Kennedys. He was the least like his dad, Joe Kennedy, and she really liked that. They were really good friends, and he got killed. And when he got shot and assassinated, she went, and she was the one that convinced him to run for president. He wasn't going to run for president. She then went through depression again. She goes to Greece. Then she marries Aristotle Onassis. Go through the life, lives like a billionaire. She took a big hit in the polls with people because a lot of Americans did not like that. She was kind of like Camelot comes to D.C. Everybody loved her and liked her and stuff. Then when she's married to this Greek tycoon, she wasn't thought of that way. She looked more like a gold digger looking for the money and stuff. Well, after he passed away, in Greek, they have a different type system of wills. And his son had died, got killed in a plane crash in 1973. So in 75, he died March 15th, 75. His financial legacy was severely limited under Greek law, which dictated how much a non-Greek surviving spouse could inherit. After 2 years of legal wrangling, Jacqueline Onassis eventually accepted a settlement of $26 million from Christina Onassis.
Not a bad day.
No. So when you asked me about the Kennedy money that time, that's the kind of stuff. They also got $4 or $5 million off of some book things that were settled. There's a ton of money over there. Anyways, she died, and the rest is history. But anyways, Jacqueline Onassis is my person. Okay. My person that was born today. Or that passed away. I'm sorry, I've got them backwards. The person that passed away today. When you think of Texas and you think of rock and roll, what band would you think of?
No, ZZ Top.
ZZ Top. ZZ Top's Dusty Hill, John Michael Dusty Hill, was born on May 19th, 1949 and died July 28th, 2021. He was an American musician who was the basis of the rock band ZZ Top. He was born in Dallas. He and his older brother Rocky, also a musician, were raised in the Lakewood neighborhood of East Dallas. He attended Woodrow Wilson High School. Do you know what's famous about Woodrow Wilson High School?
It's ZZ Top's from there?
Nope. It has produced something no other high school in the United States has produced.
A 8-man state championship.
We've never had 8-man state football.
Well, I figured we had it for a year and they won it.
No, there are 2 of these. A lot of schools, or not a lot of schools, or schools have one. There's probably 70 of them that have one, but this is the only high school to have 2.
2 presidents to come from it.
No. If you can guess this, I'll give you a $100 bill right now.
I'm not going to guess it.
Okay, not only that, I'll tell you what it is, and if you can tell me the names of the students, I'll give you a $100 bill.
Okay.
The only school to have 2 Heisman Trophy winners. $100 if you can name me the 2 players.
What era of football?
One of them was from 1980s to on, and one of them was in the probably 40s or 50s.
No, I won't be able to guess.
I'll tell you the high school, or the colleges even.
Okay.
One went to SMU, and one of them went to Notre Dame.
Nope. I don't pay attention to college football that much.
Doak Walker went to SMU.
Never heard of him.
Tim Brown played for Notre Dame, the Raiders.
He played in...
Tim Brown played at Notre Dame.
Yep. I didn't know that. But
yeah, and played
I didn't
for
know
the
he was
Raiders.
a Texas guy.
Yep. And he was great. Heisman Trophy winner, All-Pro. I think he might be in the NFL Hall of Fame even. Doak Walker might be too. I don't know. But anyways, they both went to Woodrow Wilson High School. Okay. Anyways, Mr. Hill played in the band where he played the cello. Now, I would have never looked at him as a cello player. Like his future bandmates, Hill grew up listening to blues music, which he said was uncommon in white families. He recalled shocking the parents of his childhood friends when he brought records by Muddy Waters or Son House to their houses. He began singing for money with his older brother Rocky at the age of 8. Dusty took up bass at the age of 13 when Rocky, a guitarist, formed a band with a drummer and insisted that Dusty learn to play bass so he could join them. He served as first bass soon after and immediately began playing shows. So anyways, Hill, Rocky, and future ZZ Top drummer Frank Beard played in local Dallas bands, the Warlocks, the Cellar Dwellers, and the American Blues from 66 to 68. American Blues played the Dallas-Fort Worth Houston circuit in 69. Hill was a member of a fake version of the British band The Zombies with Beard. Being a musician in Texas had its own set of risk, he said, and at that time we had long blue hair in the 60s in Texas. I got probably less shit about having blue hair than about having long hair because I believe they thought I was crazy. In 68, American Blues were located to Houston. This time, Rocky wanted to focus on straight blues. With Dusty, wanted the band to be rock more. Rocky left, and Dusty and Beard moved to Houston. They joined guitar vocalist Billy Gibbons of the Houston psychedelic band Moving Sidewalks in the recently formed ZZ Top just after they released their first single, Salt Lick, in 69. One of my coaches in high school said they used to go to a place called the Kickapoo Cantina, which was somewhere outside of Wichita Falls, and that ZZ Top would play there about once a month. It was a regular touring band that they had there. Their first big hit was a song called Tush, which I think is one of the best ones. Their best album they ever released was in 1983 called Eliminator, one of the first cassettes that I had that went in a car. And later on, he ended up dying. He got hepatitis C. They went back to work in 2002. He was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of ZZ Top in 2004. In 2014, Hill fell on the tour bus, injured his hip, requiring surgery. Part of the tour was canceled on July 23rd, 2021, left a tour due to problems with his hip. The band performed without him. And anyways, he died on July 28th, 2021. A lot of people didn't realize that he'd been having a lot of problems, health problems. So when he was out, they had recorded part of the album with the band's guitar tech, a guy named Elwood Francis. And on Hill's request, that they use him. And the thing that he said to him is, he said, you know what? You got to let this guy play. He deserves it. And he said, I mean it. I'm not going to play no more. You let this guy have my spot in the band. So that was ZZ Top, which is one of the best bands to come out of Texas. Good group of guys. and they had a really big resurgence in the late 80s.
But tell you what, Tim Brown got hosed.
What do you mean he got hosed?
So in 2010, he was eligible for the Football Hall of Fame. He didn't get in until 2015.
Okay.
There was a log jam in 2010 of guys eligible, and it was Jerry Rice, Chris Carter, and Andre Reed. Andre Reed gets in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2014. Chris Carter gets in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in where is it? 2013.
Tim Brown was a better player than Anthony Carter was.
Andre Reed.
Andre Reed. He was better than Andre Reed and Chris Carter.
Yeah, and they both got in before him.
Yeah, Andre Reed was really good, but
here's Tim Brown's accolades. He was a 2-time first-team All-Pro. He was a 9-time Pro Bowler. He was NFL kickoff return yards leader in 88, punt return leader in 94, co-receptions leader in 97. He had 1,094 receptions for, call it 15,000 yards and 100 receiving touchdowns. Chris Carter had 1,100. Chris Carter had 1,100 receptions. He had 8 more catches than Tim Brown. He had less yards. He had 30 more touchdowns, and he gets in before him. Andre Reed was a 2-time All-Pro and a 7-time Pro Bowler, so 2 less times to the Pro Bowl. He only had 87 touchdowns. He had 50 less catches and 1,000 less yards than Tim Brown, and he got in before him.
I also lied a minute ago.
Why?
It was Davey O'Brien, not Doak Walker. Doak Walker went to Highland Park. Davey O'Brien went to Woodrow Wilson. But it is the only high school to have 2 Heisman Trophy winners. But I was wrong about that. The kid from TCU, Davey O'Brien.
I think Tim Brown should have got in before those guys.
He should have.
If you look at the,
he was a stellar athlete. He was a stellar athlete at Notre Dame. I mean, he was a one-man wrecking crew almost. Hell of an athlete. Anyways, I did lie about that.
Wonder why he didn't get the love.
Al Davis and the Raiders, maybe. Did he play his whole career for the Raiders? Or did he go somewhere else?
Went to Tampa Bay.
He did go to Tampa Bay for a while too.
Yeah.
Did he ever win a Super Bowl?
He went to Tampa Bay in.
So he wasn't on that team that won the Super Bowl.
2004. I don't think so.
Do you think that it's fair that a quarterback gets judged on winning a Super Bowl about being a Heisman or a Hall of Fame player, and other positions don't?
Say that again.
Okay. A quarterback gets judged if they don't get in the Super Bowl. Like, we'll use Phillip Rivers, for example.
Right.
Phillip Rivers, to me, is every bit as good a quarterback as Eli Manning was. Eli Manning is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
But other positions aren't judged on if they win a Super Bowl or not.
Joe Thomas, only even Joe Thomas ever got to play in a playoff game.
I think it's just the nature of the position.
But you see where I'm coming from, though?
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's more on the quarterback if they go to the Super Bowl than it is.
Is Aaron Rodgers a first ballot guy?
Yes,
and he won 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and he deserves to be a first ballot. I'm not saying that.
Played for 21 years.
Do you think he also has underachieved for as good as he was when it come to winning a Super Bowl?
Probably so. I mean, I think he definitely. But I mean, I don't know. He just had some bad luck in the playoffs. The
Seattle game.
The Seattle game is kind of front and center.
I think he deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But I think Phillip Rivers should be in the Hall of Fame.
Phillip Rivers will get in.
I don't know if he will or not. What about Matt Ryan? Great stats, played a long time.
He'll get in too. He played in the Super Bowl.
Yep. Phillip Rivers never got close. Mm-mm. But that was bad coaching, not Phillip Rivers.
Right.
I think the Chargers got some kind of hex on them or curse.
A lot of teams do. Jets, Browns, all of them.
Well, the Jets won a Super Bowl one time.
Long time ago.
The original Browns are Baltimore. They've done really well for themselves.
Yeah.
If you put the Baltimore Colts stats with the Ravens, I think they've won 3 Super Bowls.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the original team. And then the Baltimore Colts. No, I lied. It was the Cleveland Browns that moved to Baltimore. The Baltimore Colts moved to Indianapolis.
I think there's a lot of snake bit franchises out there.
Do you think the NFL ever expands? I don't think they do because of the greed of the owners. Because why would you want to cut that pie up anymore?
Right.
And I don't think that I think legitimately that we should add a franchise. I think San Antonio and Austin deserve a franchise. But I also think St. Louis deserves a franchise.
I think you got too many Texas teams already.
There's 4 teams in California and 2 of them play in the same town.
Yeah.
San Antonio and Austin would be a perfect place for them. It's in Texas. Texas loves football. But I think St. Louis deserves a team. But you got St. Louis and Indianapolis ain't much further apart than Dallas and Austin are.
I just think it'd be hard now because Texas is Cowboys or Texans or some other team, and I think it'd be hard to.
If you had to do
get the fan base,
if you had to do a franchise, where would you put them at? Pick 2 places.
I don't know that I would. I mean, I think it's pretty well established.
Well, you'd actually have to add 4 teams, I think, probably. If you're going to expand, they got to go to 36 teams and 18 in each side. So if you went 4, St. Louis deserves a team.
Mm-hmm.
I would not go back to Oakland with a team. It's turned into a big shithole. Salt Lake City deserves a team, probably. I
don't think they'll ever expand.
Oh, they'll eventually they will. But Birmingham, I wouldn't go overseas or to Mexico.
No.
Birmingham, Alabama, one of those big cities in Alabama deserve one. They love football down there. They deserve one. Salt Lake City, Portland, Oregon area. There's some places that we could add another team, and it's eventually going to happen, but it's going to be a long time because of the greed factor.
I sure hope it doesn't. Perfect the way it is. Don't mess with it.
Well, we shall see. Anyways, that's my today, and we've rambled a long time over a bunch of nothing that had nothing to do with today. Thank y'all for listening to us. Come by and see us in Memphis at Ducks. Like I said, we'll have our booth there. We're going to have some 1000th episode T-shirts for sale there. Anyways, come by and see us at Boss at Memphis, or at Boss. We'll be at Boss, and we'll be at our own booth, and that'll be at Ducks Expo in Memphis on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thank you for listening to us. God bless you.
Love you. Bye.